Welcome to this edition of College and Career Conversations. I'm Manuel Ontiveros. I'm an audio-video student here at the Tyler ISD Career and Technology Center. Joining me today is Gary Brown. Today's conversation is about the PSAT. One of the questions is, what is the PSAT and why is it important?
Well, Manuel, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity to share some information with you. I appreciate this invitation. To begin with, the PSAT is actually an acronym that stands for the Pre-Scholastic Aptitude Test, which is the precursor to the actual SAT test that many students are familiar with. The remaining piece of the acronym that you didn't mention, which makes it quite a bit longer, is NMSQT, which stands for National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. So there's an achievement portion of the test as well as a recognition portion that can come from these scores. It is administered by the College Board in October of every school year, the second Wednesday of October, generally to sophomore and junior students. The junior year is when it actually counts towards the awards and recognitions and scholarship program, but we also want sophomore students to take the test to prepare for not only the junior PSAT, but then the actual SAT itself. We're very fortunate in Tyler that we've had several students on a yearly basis achieve recognition through the program and through the test. Commended students, National Merit semifinalists, National Merit finalists, National Hispanic Scholarship recipients. So we've been very fortunate that way. And beyond the recognition, when you're asking, why is the PSAT important? It really serves as a snapshot for a student, for them individually, of where they stand academically with their peers, as well as how they stand within the school, the state, and the nation.
Okay, another question is, how does the PSAT score help me as a student?
Well, then to elaborate on what I was previously speaking of, it does give a student an actual snapshot to see where they stand based on the score they receive compared to their classmates, the ones that they know, their friends, the ones that are literally sitting in class with. It also helps them as they look at school-wide. Where do I stand in relationship on these key components of reading, writing, and math with my classmates? And then on the larger scale, once again, regionally and nationally, I think that's very important. A couple of other things that are important to you as a student regarding the PSAT, the College Board actually has a program where they analyze the data from the test. It's called AP Potential, and it helps students discover potential AP courses that they would be successful in as they think about courses they would take in the future. So I think that's another important piece. And then finally, we mentioned the predictor. Just on the SAT, as you prepare to take the SAT, we want you to have an idea of the areas of strength and the areas in which you need to work on to do well on the SAT. Okay.
Another question is, how should a student prepare for the PSAT?
Preparation is key. I'm glad you asked that question. On an ongoing basis, I think students taking challenging coursework is critical, being engaged in those classes with their instructors, with the assignments, studying, preparing for each individual quiz and test as they come, because that's part of that preparation and that practice. And then ultimately, students need to ask a lot of questions. If there's anything that they're not clear on or they don't understand well, they need to make sure that they're asking those extending questions. In addition to these ongoing practices, leading up to the test, there are a lot of study materials available. Most of them are free. They're available online. Also, a student can request from their counselor. There's actually a student guide that's published by College Board that serves as a great resource. There are practice questions in here. It talks all about the exam to help a student feel comfortable on the day of the exam. So I would say that those resources, and then really just take advantage of any opportunities that teachers or your school may provide to help you prepare to be successful on the test.
Thank you for that valuable information. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I think, well, first of all, once again, Manuel, I appreciate the opportunity to share some of this information. And I think what I would add is just for students to feel comfortable, to feel relaxed, to be prepared to go into this test, to do their very best. Really what they're comparing themselves against ultimately is themselves. They want to know where do I stand currently. It's going to get good information back in the hands of the students. So I just would encourage them to be positive, think positive, be well prepared for the test and do their best.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brown, for joining us.
Thank you.
And that concludes this episode of College and Career Conversations. If you would like to know any information about the PSAT, please visit with your counselor, your school counselor, or our websites on the screen.